Hi, junk journaling friends. This is Lauren with Shabby Chic Sunday. My design team project for the month of June is 2 parts, and I would like to share with you my journal first, which is actually 2 journals in one. And then I'm going to take you downstairs to show you the second part of my project, which is a dollhouse castle that I crafted with my dad. So this month I'm using the beautiful digital kit by Shabby Art Boutique, and it's titled Rhapsody in Blue. It's available for members of the craft room. It was released at the most perfect time because I've been watching Bridgerton while creating these projects, and the vibe was just so spot on. So thank you, Carrie Ann, for attuning to my Netflix obsession of Bridgerton, because it really helped to get my wheels spinning for what I wanted to do for your design team project. Last week I shared with you all a tutorial for my new no-sew fold and glue binding method, and I did use this method to create the second half of this journal, so you'll be able to see the final outcome from what you previewed in the tutorial. The first half of this journal, however, is bound differently. So what I did was I did use a hole puncher for the top, middle, and the bottom of all the pages, and then I bound them all together with some chiffon ribbon. And then for the cover, I used one of the tags that I had created on this live crafting session with Nicola Mason in the craft room. And then we had made other tags together, and I used those as decor pieces throughout the journal. Everything in this journal is used from vintage lace. And so it's very romantic, it's very shabby chic. Just very lovely and delicate and romantic. So I wanted to show you the side. This is the binding method that I had shown you last week. I will not be leaving it like this. I just wanted to show you what it looks like when you are completely done with the no-sew binding method, and then I will take a piece of fabric and I will cover that up. But the fabric is only for aesthetic purposes only, because this is completely solid and it doesn't need anything else. So it'll just be covered for aesthetic purposes. But I wanted to show you that before I did cover it, so in case you were wondering, what that should look like. And so let's go ahead and jump in and get started. I did make the first cover to be a little lower than the rest of the pages because I just loved that script showing through behind it. I thought that that was just absolutely beautiful. And then I forgot to mention, this is very, very old, crumbling apart at your fingertips linen paper, very soft linen paper. And so I added a little bit of that behind this first cover because I thought that that was just so gorgeous. And then you have this applique here. And then these are some beautiful white roses from the kit. So when you open it up, this is a piece of a vintage handkerchief. And it's used as a pocket here. Oh, Sunday. Of course you were going to start eating the baby's breath. Okay. I'm sorry about that. So in this envelope then is just a little card, and it's been left blank for journaling purposes. And again, that tucks right here underneath that vintage piece. And then there's another piece of paper behind, and then that holds 2 additional journaling cards. A photo of a girl and then a postcard. And so those tuck right behind that cover there. On this page then, this is one of the tags that I created in the live crafting session. So it's a tag that actually holds 2 other tags, so those pop in right here. And then just some pretty pearl trim on a bit of a ruffle. Look at that, that's so beautiful. This gave me like wedding bell vibes just because of the delicacy of everything. But of course it doesn't have to be, it's just very feminine. A little bit of tooling with some pearls, and I left that open so you can still journal here or add a photo. You could glue this down too to make it a pocket, but I thought that that was pretty, kind of like a veil. On this page here, this folds down. It's a piece of fabric that makes a pocket. So you can fold it down so that you can access inside of the pocket. And I did a really quick reel on Instagram if you want to take a look at how I made this. But I used one of the envelopes from Carrie Ann's digital kit and some really soft cotton paper and I just created this tiny little journaling folio out of an envelope. And so that was really simple to make, but it adds great writing space. And so that tucks right here into the fabric pocket. There is some bling dazzled trim here at the bottom. This is another one of the tags, and here's a little butterfly and a bow and some more ruffles. And so you can see the chiffon ribbon here that is holding everything together. This is a piece of real baby's breath, so you have to be very careful because it is delicate, but it just matched so perfectly. And then tags inside of another tag again. I like this one with the little ruffle at the top. The kit came with these beautiful peacocks as an element, and so this kind of was paying homage to that because it reminded me of a peacock with their feathers all out. Okay, so when you get to this part, this is what I was referring to about the two journals in one. So this is going to slide out, and here is your first journal. Then you can put this to the side. And now this is the journal that I started making with you on the tutorial. And you have already seen how I've bound all the pages on the inside, but I wanted to show you then what I did for the cover. So I ended up just using a really thin piece of chipboard. It was almost like cardboard in a way because I was able to bend it. It was very malleable. And so I just glued that onto the front and onto the back, and then I covered it with scrap cotton fabric and then lace. And so all you're looking at here is a piece of very soft cotton. This is a pocket then that I was able to tuck the last page of the the first journal inside of to keep them as two journals in one. And then it just tucks behind this beautiful lace applique. And then this is a little ruffle here to make the pocket. And then same thing on the back, it's just cotton fabric, and I sewed a piece of lace on top, so this is a pocket as well with a pretty applique on the back. So this is the end result from the tutorial that I showed you last week. Let me go ahead and move the first part to the side. What I love about this method is that everything lays completely flat. And so it's very lightweight, it's very easy to take with you and for journaling, and so I wanted that to be represented in this journal. So I took more of that really soft cotton paper, and I kind of made like a little notepad here because I wanted this to be, able to be taken and jot down notes or beautiful quotes or poetry whenever the inspiration, were to arise. On this page then, this is one of the envelopes, and inside are a variety of different size postcards. And so those tuck right inside of here. And then behind it are pieces of ephemera or elements so that you could decorate your journal however you would like to, fit your style the best. This flips open this way. I left this blank for journaling. The other thing that I did was I took the elements that come in the kit and I enlarged them to whatever size I wanted, and then I printed them on newsprint paper. So they feel very old and authentic and vintage, even though they're not. And so that was really fun to do, and I did that with pretty much all of her postcards and then the other elements that came in the kit, just so that I had additional places for journaling, because that's what I wanted this second part of the journal to be, kind of a blank canvas for keeping memories. And then above this here is a little pull-out tag that I put some more vintage lace on top of and a ribbon so that it was easy to pull out. Okay, so then on the second page, this was another piece of ephemera, and I enlarged it to be the size of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So it opens up, and this looked like a flyer to me. So maybe whomever is the owner, of this journal, she was collecting this flyer, and she plans to go to this extraordinaire later on over the weekend. Here's a little postcard, a journaling card of a lovely lady, and then I used one of the postcards in the kit as a pocket. Some journaling space, This is a packet up here, and then this postcard makes a second packet. So here's another piece of the newsprint that I used, and I enlarged the postcard, left it blank on the back for journaling space. Some elements here, journaling cards. This one here flips to the side, lots of space, and it's nice and flat, so you can journal on it without having any bumps or any ripples. And you can put some photos in here as well. And I like that everything just lays perfectly flat. So very simple, very delicate. And I love the feel of that newsprint. And this is another little envelope, and inside are additional postcards. The kit came with so many varying size postcards, so you could use them as ephemera, you could actually use them for little notes or journaling cards. Just absolutely beautiful. And I think this is the last fold out here. And you have a third journaling card that pulls out from this packet here at the top. And then there's the back. So I'll show you again how the first part will just slide right in. So I just took the last page of my first journal, and you lift the applique, and then it slides right in as such. And there you go. That is the complete journal. So I'm going to take you downstairs now, and I'm going to show you the second part of our design team project, which is the castle that I created with my dad. And I want to mention that everything inside of it is completely made by hand, and it's made using paper and chipboard, heavy chipboard. So anyone could make this and have fun with it. And I really just enjoyed making this with my dad. So you're going to see our bookcases that he created. He created a fireplace, and I can't wait to show you. So let's head downstairs. Okay, so I have brought you downstairs now so I can show you the second part of my design team project this month. This is a 3D castle or a mansion, whatever you want to call it. I think there's actually a technical term that Nicola told me it was called, but I keep referring to it as the castle. So if you've been following along with us for the last couple of months, you've noticed that my dad and I like to construct these little 3D faux doll houses together. And so my dad has once again built this dollhouse, and then I get to do the fun part, which is decorating the outside and the inside. So on the outside, this is a whole bunch of faux moss. And then we went to Joann Fabrics and we picked out flowers together, and we just kind of pulled the tiny little petals off of the bouquet so that we could make our own little flower garden. He then constructed these, here's my finger in the way, okay, out of chicken wire and paper mache so that we could have a vase to put the flowers, the porch flowers inside of. And then he did cut out the window at the top so you can see through that. And so when you open her up, I'll show you the inside of the castle. Okay. So inside, everything this time is removable except for what has been glued to the walls. So we wanted it to be interactive so that you could actually play with it like a real dollhouse. So over on the side, I just took one of the frames from the Elements kit, and then I made it into a picture frame. So I cut out one of the girls and I framed her face. I did the same thing with the peacock on the portrait for the mantle. And then, let's see, all of this is paper, everything on the mantle. So there's candlesticks, the clock, and then for the fireplace, I used the embossing folder, the Stonehenge from Tim Holtz. All of those books are removable, and it's pretty fun because some of them are modern and some of them are classics. So it's kind of cool to see what's in there. I chose to put Jane Eyre on the table for tea, and there's chairs there. There's a little clock on the wall, and it does move if you touch it with your finger. There's another girl portrait on the side. And then over on this wall, you have more portraits. So I was thinking that maybe this is a household that has 4 beautiful daughters. And so we have frames of all 4 of the girls. There is a little parasol that is just draped casually on the side table, a pile of books, a gold mirror, and then these are 2 lights on the side of the mirror, but they don't light up. And then over at the top, he built this separate additional room, and we thought that this would be like the nursery. So there's another painting or portrait on the wall. Maybe that's the mother reading a book in the chair. There is a little dollhouse, a little stroller, a pile of books back there, and that beautiful rocking horse. And so that is our newest creation of the dollhouse. And then when you close this, I'll show you what that other room does. Okay, so the other room just goes right on top. And so it just rests on top of the castle. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching and seeing what we've come up with. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.